Congratulations on the release of Code 8 2. It's
Thank you.
here. It's been a long journey for you guys with the Code 8 series. I mean, it's hard to believe that it's been like 8 years since the short came out with like almost 7 million views only like on the main platform only. Like I mean, it's just mind blowing. And then when you think about the whole journey that you guys just had with this series of this franchise, I mean, it's just incredible. The fans who put like together the first one and now Netflix, like the biggest streaming service of all time. Um, it's just like it feels very surreal, even for me, because and it's just like so super nice to see that, because like it all started with this passion project and to see the journey where you actually are right now with the Code 8 name. It's just like super cool, actually.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. You know, it's scary every time we do it. And luckily every time it's kind of worked out. The short film part one, part two, we were the number one movie in 71 countries the other day, and we're still holding strong. We're the number one movie in 40 countries today. It's been out for 5 days. It's very, very cool. Very surprising to see part one pop so much on the charts too. It's the number three or number four movie in the world today on Netflix, which is wild. But I mean,
That is so
it's
awesome.
we're just very lucky. We work with really talented people, and everybody really takes pride and ownership of these movies, and it just keeps working. So fingers crossed, people keep watching it and we get to make a third one.
Yeah, yeah, fingers crossed, of course, fingers crossed. And also, I mean, you and your friends spent like 70K for the short film, and it was a huge risk because you never knew whether or not you will make your money back. But you always said that it would have been like worth for the experience alone. And I was wondering,
Mhm.
what would you say, how much of your success as an actor is like the direct result of taking risks?
Well, I think it's interesting. My lawyer, a friend who is also my lawyer, she said there's a few reasons to take a job. One is an amazing role or amazing script, and you just have
Mm.
to do it. One is to work with somebody amazing. Well, it's whether it's a director or a writer or an actor, or um, the money is so good you have to say yes. But you're only allowed to do that one so many times before it gets you in trouble. So
Yeah.
I always try and look at roles where, like, if say down the road one of my idols, like a Tarantino or somebody, it has a project and I'm right for a role. I always want to have kind of a track record where, even if the movie doesn't turn out great, you can look at the project and think, okay, well, he did it for these reasons, or and so I wouldn't say I'm always taking risks. Some projects are less risky than others, but I also love my job. I love working. I love working with different people. I love working in different genres. So
Right.
um, it's interesting. Even the most obvious thing in the world can be a risk, because I think really anyone can be bad with the wrong writing or the wrong directing or the wrong editing.
Mm.
I also think not, I think most people can be good with good writing and good editing and good directing. So
Yeah.
um, really, I just try and work with um, as many great people as possible.
Awesome. And I mean, what I personally like about the Code 8 movies is the fact that, yes, these people have superpowers, but it feels like grounded in reality because the characters are like accessible. It's not like they don't feel immortal, they feel like you and I. And like, yes, there are sci-fi elements in there, and there is action there, but it's always like the direct result of a character-driven story, actually. But when it comes down to the superpowers, I was wondering because obviously some people would say some are cool to have, but also some feel like little curse in a way. I was wondering, from all the superpowers, what would you say is the one that will make you feel like most uncomfortable because it feels like not really cool, but more like a curse?
I think reading minds would be a bit of a curse. I think that um, most people wish well upon people and think good things most of the time, but
Yeah.
nobody thinks nice things all the time. And hearing that and hearing what everybody thinks about everything all the time, it would be like having an always honest filter, and it would be you would need some real thick skin to be able to handle that, I think.
Just thinking about, asking like your wife, hey, would you like to eat pizza today? Sure, liar, you want chicken burgers. Like,
Exactly. It would cause way too much drama for me.
yeah, right, right, right. And speaking of drama, obviously there's still, a lot of stuff that isn't right between your character and Garrett, obviously. Which is also one reason why I would recommend to watch the first movie first, even though it's not 100% necessary, but still for context,
Mhm.
it's definitely great. And I was wondering because in obviously in one moment, your character is asking Garrett for help, even though he doesn't really want to. But sometimes it's like necessary. And I was wondering if you were ever in a similar situation where you actually kind of had to ask for help, even though you were not 100% sure if you really want to do that.
Oh, for sure. I mean, when your back's against the wall, sometimes you get a little desperate, and you go to people that are going, that it's going to cost you. And, I guess it's trying to make the best out of a bad situation, which I think is kind of a world that Code 8 lives in. It's people making the best decisions they can with the shitty situations they're put into. And what you said earlier, that's kind of what we always go for. We want it to be kind of contained, intimate, personal stories and problems with a sci-fi backdrop.
Absolutely, absolutely. And one of the elements also, because Garrett, he doesn't understand why your character like picked the pathetic life, that how he calls it. He's like,
Hmm.
why I could offer you so much more, like, and your character's like passing on that. Um, and it feels like so relatable, because sometimes it feels like you have to like pass on opportunities for whatever reason. I was wondering if you ever actually had to pass on an opportunity because it didn't feel right in a way.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's by choice, sometimes it's not. Like, I was on The Flash for a little while, and they wanted me to
Yeah.
do Legends of Tomorrow,
Mhm.
and it didn't work out for me timing wise. My wife was on a show shooting in Toronto, and if I was on a show shooting in Vancouver, we would never see each other.
Oh,
So I think that it's 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 always a balance of like, does this work for career? Does this work for personal life? Does this now work for family life? And then you also have to, be enthusiastic about what the job is. So, there's kind of a lot of boxes to check.
there's also this great character Pavani in the movie.
Hmm.
And there's like uh some people want her to give up like a memory or part of memories for a
Yeah.
reason. Um, and like it sounds like nothing, but it's like very precious memories. I was wondering, what would you say is a memory you never want to give up because it's so precious?
Oh man. I mean, I have so many. I have childhood ones. I have family ones. I have like the birth of my son. My wedding day. All of the
Yeah,
I think all of those major moments in life. But then it's weird. There's some moments that you wouldn't think are going to be important memories, and then sometimes those are things that pop up when you need them. And so I think memories, it's a little bit of the time travel problem, where if you erase one, like it could have a huge ripple effect on the rest.
absolutely, absolutely. And there's um, like there are like these themes about that we get to see like very early on, like machines like replacing people.
Hmm.
And that's also something that feels like it doesn't seem too far away, and it's like it feels like we are like at the beginning just without the superpowers. I was wondering, like, how do you personally see like the future in terms of work being replaced by machines, computers, whatever?
I mean, it's already starting, and then like all this Chat GPT and AI stuff, it's pretty wild. I mean, the difference. I mean, you saw the Will Smith video, and then a year later, like what the videos that it can make now. Like there was the video of him like eating it. It made a video of Will Smith eating spaghetti, and it's like really weird, and like it was impressive at the time, but it's still weird and kind of looks like animated and like wobbly and morphy, and now you've got these like incredible 60-second videos of photorealistic dogs, and it's very weird, and I hope I still have a job in
Oh my
in a
gosh,
few
yeah.
years from now.